Alright, the data mines are in for this weekly update. I am a bit late to this one, so this might very well go out after the reset has dropped, but we should be getting quite a bit of content this week. We already know, of course, that Ultra Sword of Hope is dropping. We do know that PvP is also resetting, as well as Tournament of Power. Co-op is not resetting. We should be getting a new Ultra Space Time Rush reset as well as some other things that we'll go over this video. So just to recap on this Sword of Hope, he is a preparation mode character, the first we've seen in about 2-3 years at this point, last one being Gamma's. He has a lot of this new mechanic, Reduce Healing. This isn't to be confused with Health Restoration Down. It actually sets a cap on how much you're able to heal. So this Trunks has a cap of 60% reduced healing, which means that the enemy cannot, for a certain amount of timer counts, cannot go above 60% HP once they're below that threshold. Some other things to note, he does, again, have the preparation mode through his, I believe it's his active gauge. We can just check really quickly. His active gauge, which is charged through his unique gauge, which is a key consumption type gauge. So that's one thing to note. Another thing to note, he does seem to have like a very light restriction onto Future and Vegeta Clan, because his Ultra ability is Future, and his Z ability, none of his Z abilities buff Hybrid Saiyans. So you're gonna have to either put Gohan into leader slot or put Trunks onto leader slot for Hybrid Saiyans to get the full Z ability buffs, which is always nice. Those are just some things to know. Let's take a look at his stat line. Remember, we do have to take away 13,000 to factor in Arts Boost. Yeah, that's pretty good, but wow, that is very skewed. So we're looking at 267,000 to strike attack, and then 247 to blast attack. Defenses are looking nice at 178, right? 178 and 177. Pretty good for an Ultra. He does hold a Bleed Strike card, 100% chance, and he gets Cure Recovery 30% on use for 10 counts on his blast cards. Again, this guy does benefit quite a few teams, those being Hybrid Saiyans, Future, and Vegeta Clan. All viable or semi-viable tags. We can take a look at... This was one thing I wanted to make sure of. On his website breakdown, unlike the other preparation mode characters, this unit actually didn't say whether or not his preparation mode dealt AoE damage, because we know that the Gamma's Core Breaker and the Transcendent Kamehameha from the Buu duo, they do AoE damage, whether it's most damage or half the damage. But this character, they didn't mention it at all, so let's go ahead and check that. I don't see it, right? It doesn't do AoE damage. Okay, that's good to know. A bit different from what we're used to. But yeah, I guess that makes sense. Being able to do supreme damage and factoring that into other characters' health bars would be insane. But we'll see when we playtest them, right? That is the only new character coming. We have quite a few equipment. Again, we have the Awaken equipment, we have the PvP equipment, and I'm pretty sure they announced like one of those special Ultra equipments. Here's the PvP one. This is for Future. Special move 12%, base health 12%, ultimate damage 12%, and then 10% to pure offenses if this character is tag Hybrid Saiyans. Yeah, this is a really good equipment. Has your offenses, has your defensive stats as well. This is a pretty good all-around equipment. The thing is, Trunks already has access to quite a few really good equipment, so we'll see if this makes the cut once we go to the equipment guide in our next video. So stay tuned for that. Overall, though, this is a very solid equipment. Oh yeah, that's right. We should also have the Trunks and Mai unique equipment. These are co-op equipment, so they shouldn't be here. Let's see. Yep, there's the Trunks and my icon. We'll go over that last. Here's that special equipment that they always do in the equipment collection. This is for Weapon Wielder and Green. 12% HP, 35% to both defenses. Yeah, that is one hell of a defensive equipment. It's just a bunch of stats that you want. Would you want to run Trunks defensively? I'm not entirely sure, considering he doesn't really seem to have a lot of disruptive mechanics except for his one-time disrupt at his endurance pop. But other than that, I think you'd want to build him offensive. But it's a good defensive equipment. Green Weapon Wielder, the only one that comes to mind is Green Goku. Okay, this is for Vegeta Clan from the Future Trunks saga. 12% strike attack, 12% to Ki recovery and strike attack again, 15% to base critical and strike attack, as well as 12% to pure strike attack if an episode Future Saga member, or other than this character, is a battle member. Yeah, this is pretty good. Very, very offensive. This is giving what? That's 39% base strike on top of 12% to pure strike. Yeah, this is probably a must run if you fulfill the requirements. The base critical is kind of just whatever, but everything else on this is really good. Very, very good. Okay, now let's go back up to Trunks and Mai. Trunks and Mai is one of those nostalgic characters for me. When I first started this game around later half of 2019, and this was the one of the characters that I vividly remember using and enjoying, just because I really liked the Vanished Restoration on the ult. So I really hope they do them justice. He does have a lot of supportive capabilities as well. If I do recall, he also gets his own supports up if he fulfills certain character requirements, like battle member requirements. Let me just look at his kit. Yeah, here. If there's a future character in the party, you get 20% to strike damage. If there's a Vegeta clan in the party, 20% to blast damage. And if there's a Hybrid Saiyan in the party, he gets an additional 10% damage reduction. Base-wise, though, this character has 50% damage and 30% damage reduction. So this was back when the Zenkai characters didn't get full 70% or 60 to 70% reduced damage received because of the Zenkai stats. So this character is going to need quite a lot in his unique equipment to save him and make him at least viable. But he does give support whenever he uses a card to Future and Vegeta Clan. I'm just looking through his kit right now, see if there's anything noteworthy. He does 20% damage to Regen and Android, so he's going to be better against the Boos, the Ultra Boos and Android 13. He gets a green card when he enters the battlefield one time, as well as he doesn't have permanent base card draw speed, he just has level 1 when he enters the battlefield for 15 counts, which I don't think is really a concern, except for buff removal, I guess. When he switches to standby, he's healing allies by 10% as well as restoring Ki. The healing is limited to twice. It seems like it looks like he has one of those, like, the longer you're alive, the more buffs you get. At 20 counts, he gets 20% damage, which boosts him up to 70% permanent. 35 counts, you get -5 to arts cost, and 50 counts, you actually get support to allies, which factors into himself by 20%, so that brings him up to, 90%? After 20 counts, if he enters the battlefield, he gets 15% damage inflicted for 15 counts and 50% Ki recovery for 10 counts, so that's an additional damage stack. Let's see, this guy does have bleed chance on his strike card, normal blast card, green card gives him permanent special move and ultimate damage twice, or no, just once, and he gets damage on that. He has support on his blue card, and his ultimate restores Vanishing Gauge on hits, and shortens Future and Vegeta sub counts by 5. Oh, it also has -100% to sustain damage cut, which is now damage guard, of course. It's gonna be hitting pretty hard if he has enough stats. So yeah, let's go ahead and look. at this equipment. Again, this is for the red Zenkai Trunks and Mai. 30% HP, 100% just base-wide, or yeah, board-wide stats, which is good. 250% damage, 160% damage guard. On return to standby, applies the following effects to ally tag future, not even Vegeta clan, just future. 30% damage for 15 counts to allies and 10% HP. That also applies to himself, that healing part. And then slot 3, on cover change, destroy 2 cards. On battlefield entry, the following effects occur. Draw 1 card of hand as 3 or fewer, gets cover null, and he reduces future sub counts by 1. That's pretty good. Is that enough? Let's look at his damage. He is looking at, I believe that'll be 340% base damage after like the 50 counts have elapsed, which isn't bad at all. Damage guards, he's looking at 30% reduced damage received and 160% damage guard. I don't know if that's enough. We're now looking at units that have 270% damage guard and they still cannot tank attacks. So I think this guy is going to be getting pummeled, especially by Revival Gohan, which is the most prominent blue, and Legend Piccolo, who does insane amounts of damage even before and after his buff. So will they be able to tank? I don't think so, but they might be able to do good damage, and they have good support as well. So, yeah, I mean, they look alright. Nothing crazy. But yeah, that's it for the new equipment and characters. We can go ahead and move on to the data mines. Right here. There we go. Of course, we have the banner. Again, 2000 Z power. I don't know. We might see if they have the pity system, but we shall see that. So let's see. This is the new PvP season. There's the title screen. This is the new campaign, Godslayer of Ray of Hope. A new raid's coming where you can get 1000 CC, I believe is what they said in the Legends information. And this situation battle, fight to protect everyone. I believe they said they had this before, but I cannot recall at all. New card sleeves for Gohan and Pan, one for Trunks. It does seem that he has the pity. You're gonna have to spend 45,000 CC, so it's not really a great pity, but it's there, I guess. There's the new equipment, new PvP message. And here's the featured list, nothing crazy. Of course we have the new character, which is what you're mainly hunting. Gohan and Trunks, I believe, are on the featured boost, if I recall from the Legends information. These guys are getting a Senkai next week, and I really hope they're good, or they're going to be over 3. Over 3. Really bad, or I guess just subpar on release, subpar with their unique equipment, and subpar with their Senkai. I'm really hoping not. I feel like this guy could be really good against both Buhan and what's it called? Legend Vegeta, just because of typing wise. But if in order to do that, they really need to do something about the Vegeta side, who is the main weakness of this character. We also have this what is this? The Future Trunks that slashed up Mecha Frieza, who is probably your best bench for the new Ultra Trunks, because he's buffing ult damage, he's buffing strike attack and defense just by a lot, and of course we have the blue Sword of Hope Trunks. I don't think he's in boost, I cannot recall though. But yeah, this, I mean, it's an alright banner in comparison to other Ultra banners that we've seen, but again, it's not great at all. Ultra UI is coming back, and that's pretty much it seems like. But yeah, the Champions bonus is coming back. It seems like Path to Friendship is coming back, so just free CC there. But yeah, that is it for this breakdown. I am very excited. This Trunks looks very unique in terms of a lot of the units that we've been getting. But let me know what you guys think. Are you guys going to summon? And if you are, good luck on your summons. And I will see you for the equipment guide for this character. See ya.